My chief of staff hates it when I say holy cow, but holy cow, look at this! It's incredible. So I'm Sean Ryan, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Buffalo. Yeah, baby! You know why I'm running for the city mayor of the city of Buffalo? Because Buffalo deserves better. You know we deserve better. I know it because I grew up the son of a Buffalo firefighter and a teacher. They worked hard to keep their neighborhood safe and to educate the next generation. They taught me, they inspired me to work for our city, building quality, affordable housing, fighting discrimination, providing funding for schools and child cares, and transforming our waterfront along the way. Here's what I know. I know that today's teachers and firefighters and nurses and cops, they work just as hard as my folks did. And they want to make the lives better for everyone in their community and all their neighbors and neighborhoods. We know that. And it's not just the public sector. Entrepreneurs, small businesses, service, factory workers, all working hard for their families and their communities. We all work hard for our city, and we deserve a city government that works hard for all of us. But we know it. There's been 20 years of neglect, and you can see the cracks starting to show. We can't seem to get our streets plowed. We can't figure out how to fix our potholes. And year after year and decade after decade, our children are poisoned by lead. Senior services hanging on by a thread. Nearly a decade without fluoride in the water, and they never told us. The incompetence of city leaderships at times has been shocking. You look at our surrounding towns and villages, their pools are open, their streets are plowed. Why can't we open our pools and plow our streets? When did we stop funding youth sports? Why is it so hard to pay your user fee online? You know it, you tried it. We're failing at the basics. Don't you think we can do better? Don't you think we can do better? Should we at least try to do better? City Hall has ignored the crisis of poverty, segregation, shortage of affordable homes, the decay of our neighborhoods. It's demoralizing for everybody who works hard for a better Buffalo. Let's imagine a new Buffalo where we can do the basics, but we don't shy away from taking on the big, tough problems. A Buffalo where we do the real work to solve our problems together. That's what my campaign for mayor is all about. Buffalo faces a fiscal problem. It's not a new one. It's been brewing for 20 years. Irresponsible, rubber-stamped budgets have led to the situation that we face today. Basic city contracts, like our ambulance services, never enforced and end up costing us millions in revenue. And the city is using reserve funds, our safety net, because they refuse to balance their budget. We deserve better. Say it with me, we deserve better. We know there is more we can do to make Buffalo safer and stronger. We deserve better. Say it with me, we deserve better. I know we can do better because I work with many of the folks in this room right now to do just that. Before entering into government, I created the Buffalo Neighborhood Stabilization Company to create a redevelopment plan for parts of the West Side. And that neighborhood went from vacant and abandoned to full and vibrant. We know how to do it. As a state legislator, I've always focused on what's right for Buffalo. To help families get ahead, I passed middle-class tax cuts, raised the minimum wage, created a paid family leave program, and invested in childcare. And that's why families in North Buffalo are better able to afford childcare. And that's why seniors at the Marine Drive apartment are paying less for their medications. And families in South Buffalo are getting paid family leave, and families on the east and west side are getting expanded child care tax credit. You know how we did that? We did it by making sure the wealthiest pay their fair share of taxes. We know it all starts with education. To strengthen our communities, I've worked with the Buffalo Teachers Federation to secure historic increases in education funding for the Buffalo Public Schools. I've worked with Waterkeeper to bring in millions and millions of dollars to clean up our water and to transform our waterfront. And we've implemented a bold agenda to address climate change, keep our communities safe from gun violence, protect the right of LGBTQ New Yorkers, and to safeguard abortion access. I've worked with groups like GoBike to secure state funding for critical infrastructure projects. Projects like redoing Niagara Street to keep pedestrians safe, but that encourages the growth of business. You see it on Niagara Street, you go down there, bars, restaurants, shop, where there was nothing a decade ago. Infrastructure projects, Safe Streets project, they work, they build our economy. And as a champion of small businesses, I've worked to support entrepreneurs, bringing in key funding for the 43 North competition, secured funding for our business districts, and delivered the resources Buffalo needs to lead in technology, manufacturing, and healthcare research, and much more. And we see businesses growing. We see Oxford Pennant in the new Truly Rooted Market on Fillmore Avenue. And I get excited about our future. I've stood with the men and women of organized labor to fight for workers' rights, joining healthcare workers on the picket line, Starbucks workers, auto workers, and many more. I've always been there. And thank you to the unions who are with us today and are going to be with us going forward. Let's hear it for organized labor. And how about Debbie Hayes, a career in leadership and organized labor? Thank you, Debbie Hayes. I've worked to create a brighter future for housing in Buffalo, securing $90 million to build new homes, renovate rundown doubles, and to prevent evictions, to keep people in their homes. We need to follow leaders like Dr. Henry Louis Taylor in his plan for rebuilding neighborhoods. Not just programs, but full projects to rebuild neighborhoods. And thank you, Essence, for your remarks earlier and for all you're doing to bring safe and secure housing to Buffalo. And when it comes to bringing in funding that Buffalo needs and deserves for projects big and small, I've delivered year after year. Canal Side, the Northland Training Center, business districts on the east side, west side, South Buffalo, and North Buffalo. And let's not forget our cultural institutions, Science Museum, Richardson, AKG, Shays, and the Buffalo Zoo. And when a white supremacist came to Buffalo to commit one of the greatest tragedies our city has ever seen, I stood shoulder to shoulder with all of Buffalo as we grieved. But then I went back to Albany and led the charge to pass our nation's toughest gun laws to help save lives and prevent another tragedy. I know how to do the hard work that we need to bring people together, and there's no doubt there's a lot of exciting things going on in Buffalo. But let's be clear, it's happening because of funding and leadership from New York State and the federal government. And it's happening because of the great community organizations that are doing the hard work each and every day. As former Congressman Higgins liked to say, we have great natural assets. We have great parks. We have our beautiful lake, our river. We have beautiful architecture, world-class art museum, science museum, beautiful botanical garden, and we have great people. We have things that other cities would long for, but we've got to get it together. I bring colleagues from other parts of New York State to see Buffalo, and they're blown away. They come with an impression. I don't really know what that impression is. You walk them around, you drive them around, and they can't believe it. But we need good leadership to make it work and to get it together. So as the next mayor of Buffalo, I'll work hard. I'll work hard every day to continue to deliver for our great city, for our home. As a champion for working people, I've made a few enemies along the way. But I'll never apologize for fighting for the people of Buffalo and working around the clock to protect taxpayers' dollars and to prevent wasteful subsidy that often go to the people who don't need it to begin with. We know that. We have many challenges to face in Buffalo. I'm ready to do the hard work. I'm optimistic about our future. We're at the beginning of a new era for the city of Buffalo. For the first time in nearly 2 decades. First time in 2 decades. We have a chance, and we have a chance to honestly address our many challenges, not shirk from them, not pretend those challenges don't exist, to face them head on, and we're going to face them head on with a clean slate and fresh eyes. It's time to break the status quo. We need to move Buffalo forward. If you want to better Buffalo as much as I do, then join our campaign. If you want a Buffalo that delivers basic services and gets it right, then join our campaign. If you want a Buffalo that isn't afraid to take on the big, tough problems, then join our campaign. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here today. I look forward to working with every one of you from now until the primary in June.